Hello there, I'm going to be telling you how to summon Constance Hatchaway. Constance Hatchaway is actually, in theory, and from all of the Haunted Mansion lore, she is the rightful owner of Haunted Mansion. I remember seeing a guy do a video of this, trying to figure out who was the actual owner, if, of course, if they were alive. And as you know, Constance Hatchaway does have a sort of a terrifying allure to her. She's very Bloody Mary-esque in a way, but she's also not just terrifying, but she's a trickster, she's a lot of fun. I don't know if she's a demon, but she very well might be. And I don't discriminate. It's not a sin to be a demon. I think we've all fell from grace one way or another, and we've all decided to do things that kind of demonize us and make us into a demon. We do things that other people deem taboo, and so to me, a demon is just somebody that is quite misunderstood and is not necessarily demonic, but is just, searching for their own independence apart from the conventional spirit realm. Really, to me, that's what a demon is. But I have reached her. I think the first time I ever heard about Constance Hatchaway was there was actually a story about these young adults. They were rather drunk, and or they got drunk rather often, and they were talking about how there was a stalker ghost at Disney World in Florida. And Constance Hatchaway is a relatively new addition to the Haunted Mansion lore. And as you know, Haunted Mansion lore has been developed by the fans because there wasn't really a lot of explanation. And so we've kind of come to our own conclusions. We've drawn some of it from the original stories, otherwise the storyboards that were done in the early 70s. And it was very mysterious because Disney was not really able to experience the wonder and the chills and thrills of Haunted Mansion, and we know it. And when it first came about in Disneyland, in California, in Anaheim, California, it was closed for many years. Like it was in construction for several years, and it kind of grew this fascination of when those gates were shut. And I know that it's filled me with mystery and curiosity for years to come. I mean, the first time I ever heard of Haunted Mansion was when I was about 9, and I remember watching one of those sing-along videos, and they were on VHS tapes at the time, and those were gold to me, bricks of gold. And so after hearing this story, I felt that there was a bride that had come to my home. Now, this was when I was a very conservative Christian. I was very scared of everything, and I remember just being frozen stiff, just not being able to move. Finally, when I got the courage to move, I turned on the radio, because radios, that there was some choral music, oh, kind of music playing, and then I looked around and there was nothing there. But, my mind saw a woman going like this, and her arms were very straight. She was, so sometime later, and this is like 6-7 years later, since that encounter, and as you know, spirits know when they're being talked about as well as when they're being seen, so you don't necessarily have to see them in order for them to have a connection with you. You don't have to see paranormal footage. So I think she just wanted to scare me, and so I contacted her via Ouija board, and she was very pleasant, and she explained that she was just trying to scare me. She didn't mean any harm. And immediately, I gave her like a sign, I gave her a thumbs up saying, you did a good job. Oh, by the way, this is just ink, this isn't blood. I use red ink when I'm doing calligraphy, so it's not like You know, it's not blood or, you know, mine or anybody else's. So this is how you do this, and this is very simple. And we're going to, so you can get your favorite scent or your favorite tool. It can be an athame. It can be a sentimental object from your childhood, like a blanket or a doll or something that has absorbed a lot of good energy, or has maybe something that has been a security blanket for you, otherwise something that you've held on to when you have ever felt really, you know, scared or something, because these are objects that can very well be great homes and fantastic vessels for spirits. That's why a lot of people claim that they're talking to their dolls, is there is an actual spirit within them, because that child is giving that such a loving atmosphere and such a loving vessel for that spirit to live in. So not all spirits are out to get you. In fact, it's quite the opposite with spirits. A lot of times they don't want to get you, they don't want to possess you, they just want to make a connection, and they want to be seen and heard and respected, just like the rest of us. So the first thing that you want to do is call her name, is light light incense, if you know how to use. So this is a torch, typical torch. I know it's probably pretty overkill as far as, you know, lighting things. It's a regular kitchen torch. This is not a weapon. This is a regular, you know, you would use this to flambe certain things, okay? So you can do this and to bless your space. I use incense because I choose to. You don't have to. You can wave whatever you want. Put any scents that you want in the air if you want. So you call her name. You say, Constance, 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 Constance. And then when you're done, obviously, you know, you can either just put this aside. I'm gonna put this aside specifically, and you're gonna want to clap 4 times, and you can do this with you can go like this, you can go like that, but kind of what you want to do is because Constance Hatchaway, as you know, the lore goes is that she killed all of her husbands. That's probably just a rumor, okay? We listen, we don't judge. We listen, we don't judge. So you can go like this and go 6 times. And then you want to go like that 6 times as well. And, you know, I might have miscounted at some point, but that's okay. That was probably like 4 times, but okay. So you want to do that. You want on either arm, you want to do, you know, you're going to do 6 sets. Otherwise, you're going to do 6 on this arm from left to right, and 6 on this arm from left to right as well. So you get that evenness. And if that doesn't work, well, I never said that my spells were 100% accurate. And not one size fits all. There's always exceptions. Nothing is as it seems. So this is a video that is purely for entertainment purposes, and I hope it entertained you thoroughly. Other than that, it is kind of a how-to video, but there you go. That's how you summon Constance Hatchaway. It's that simple. And as I said, it's not really, she's kind of a Bloody Mary type entity. And if you don't know Bloody Mary is very significant within a lot of voodoo culture. And voodoo, if you're not familiar with that, is where you connect with the ancestors or with the spirits of nature. And it's very similar to other witchcraft practices as well. A lot of people have this misconception that it has to do with demon worship. There is no worshiping of demons that I am aware of. I've actually looked into it, and I found out that there was nothing really demonic about it. It was just about herbs and connecting with nature. And I said, that seems to be what I'm doing. So that seems to be okay. So, more power to you, Yes, I do have a voodoo doll. Do I use it? Yes, I have. What did I use it for? Several things. Do I have to tell you? No, I don't. Voodoo dolls are used for a variety of purposes, and some of them have nothing to do with causing pain to the other, and I don't believe in causing pain to other people. My magic, usually the worst thing that happens is a runny nose and maybe some bloodshot eyes. My magic usually causes more emotional damage than anything else. But it's usually a disciplinary action. It's usually a karmic spell. So it's like, if you're making me feel shitty, you're probably gonna feel shitty too. So I am very just and I'm very fair when it comes to my magic. I don't use it, to take revenge. I do it as more of a vengeance thing and as more of, a way to protect myself. I do not harm others, as I don't feel comfortable with that. But if somebody is, just make sure that you are fair and just with your magic, because if you're doing something just out of selfish means, or you're doing something because you want someone to suffer, you have to take in consideration that that person may already have had a karmic spell put on them. So that means that if that karmic spell is already on them, they're either aware of it or they're not. That means that you could potentially be harming yourself. So if you're putting out this horrible, horrible hex and horrible curse, you might find yourself cursed, and that's not something that you want to do. I don't want you to do that. So just be safe with your magic. Be safe with your practice. And if you ever feel that whatever you've summoned is not what you wanted, please let me know and I can help, because I have successfully banished several spirits. I've had demons that actually shudder because I'm able to do that. And I've had objects within my possession that they will not even want to touch. I've had one particular, here we go. Yes, we're showing you. We have Ed here. Ed is a voodoo doll. I do not use him as a voodoo doll. I do realize with his story was that he was unlawfully kind of summoned and put into this vessel. I freed him, but there was actually an anathema that he did not want me, he didn't want to be around. So that should tell you about, not to mess with me. Don't mess with me. I have magic, and it works, and I know for a fact that it works. And if frickin' demons that live in dolls fear this, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I really do. And anyway, that's all for now.